At least one branch of government is checking our president's power grabs. The Supreme Court just ruled 9-0 against his recess appointments when President Obama tried to go around the U.S. Senate and appoint some bureaucrats. Even the House of Representatives is getting into the act. Speaker John Boehner is threatening to sue President Obama. But is it enough? We'll talk with Ron Hart about it in just a minute. Pull up a chair and join us. This president says he's going to do what he wants to do because we can't wait. Now, the Supreme Court has checked him about 12 times. The House of Representatives getting into the act. Barack Obama thought he could appoint bureaucrats without Senate confirmation, and you know what bureaucrats do. I'm with Ron Hart. Ron, thanks for being with us.
Great to be here.
We saw what bureaucrats do even when it comes to the NFL and the Washington Redskins.
You see it all.
The name's too offensive? What?
It's amazing. All the problems in the country, NSA, IRS, Benghazi, all the problems in the world. And this administration, through bureaucrats, like you've said, goes after the Redskins, the Washington Redskins. They said the name was dangerous, nasty, mean, conjures up terrible images, and I was wondering whether they meant Washington or Redskins.
Right. I'm all about it. Ban Washington from the name. If they don't stop it, I'm going to start calling them engines.
Yeah, and I think they should change their name. They keep getting pressure from D.C. They should change their name to the Virginia Redskins or Liverpool Redskins. And just move. I mean, who needs this? It's hard enough to do business in this world without being badgered by your government, which you're paying taxes to. But to your point about the Supreme Court, they've had more unanimous decisions, 9-0 decisions since 1940. 1940. So the things this president is doing is viewed as so egregious that even the liberals disagree with him. That's telling.
Yeah, and he knows it's wrong too, Ron. He knows himself. He ran and he campaigned against this type of power grab in the presidency. When we get back, I want to talk with Ron Hart about Iraq. I want to talk about the House of Representatives. Even John Boehner says he's going to try to stop Barack Obama. But do you really believe John Boehner and the House of Reprehensibles? We'll be right back with Ron Hart in just a moment. The Burnie Thompson Show Whiskey Rebellion is brought to you by the Shrimp Boat Restaurant in St. Andrews Bay. Steak, seafood, and sunsets right on the water. Updates on Facebook at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Forest Park Animal Hospital. He's more than just a vet for your pet. He's your dog's best friend. Dr. Stephen Favallaro on Facebook at Forest Park Animal Hospital, PA. Waterstone Apartments. Each home includes a full-size washer and dryer, spacious walk-in closets, and high-end appliances. Waterstone Apartments on North Jenks in Panama City. Elevation Salon at the Panama City Mall, where my friend Samantha will make you look and feel your best. These ladies are not just out of beauty school, they're the best.
Gerard Verga fights for justice every day. As a family man who grew up in our community, Mr. Verga wants to bring those values back to our justice system. Vote Verga on August 26th. Political ad paid for and approved by Gerard Verga for judge.
Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm Katie.
Is your check engine light on?
At Gears, we will check it for free.
Don't pay for a diagnostics.
At Gears, we will check it for free.
Transmission services for $49.95.
Free shuttle service in our Gears limo.
Come let my daddy fix your car.
Find out what's shaking at Lowe's House of Bourbon at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Lowe's House of Bourbon, located above the Shrimp Boat Restaurant in historic St. Andrews.
Hi, I'm Daryl Day.
And I'm Burnie Thompson.
You know, we both proudly served our nation in uniform.
And we still serve today on the radio, expanding freedom and protecting the family budget.
And using the airwaves to educate, enlighten, and entertain, and sometimes irritate.
So join us every day and link arms, and let's do our part to restore this republic.
Join me each morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m.
And join me from 11 to 2 on Talk Radio 101.
Protection, inviting, clarity, comforting. It's your portal to an outside world, and it's probably something you have not given much thought to. Glass is a part of our lives. It's all around us, all the time. The Glass Center has presented the finest in glass installation in Bay County since 1983. From your business to your community, to your automobile, to your home. The Glass Center is the leader in technology and innovation for all things glass in your life.
We made fun of the government changing or denying the trademark Washington Redskins before the break, but there are some serious consequences to this. You may recall in the NBA they had the Washington Bullets. Well, there were a lot of people saying that, you know, bullets are violent, so they changed the name to the Washington Wizards. But they did that on their own accord. This was not a case of bureaucrats denying a trademark like they did this time. This is serious stuff, Ron, if you think about it, and it has unintended consequences, doesn't it?
The Redskin name has been around 80 years. Just in the last month, it became objectionable to this administration, right? 80 years, no one cares, no one cares. Redskins, Oklahoma means Redskins. It was, where do you stop? You know, the Braves mascot, my beloved Braves, that could be next. You got the, in Tallahassee, you got the Seminoles. And where does this whole thing end? I always view the Indians, or the Native Americans, whatever you want to call it, as fierce warriors, a proud people.
Absolutely.
We've reduced them to people that we have to defend, people we have to give casinos to, people that we have to let into Harvard with a 900 SAT. The Democrats tend to victimize people and take them into their world as a victim. And wouldn't you rather be a proud warrior?
And look what our government has done to many of the reservations with entitlements. With isn't there a Bureau of Indian Affairs?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I mean, there's not a Bureau of Jewish Affairs. There's not a Bureau of Black American Affairs. It's very actually insulting and dehumanizing, in my opinion.
The more you do, the more you insult them, the more you belittle them, the more you believe they need your help, and it's become self-fulfilling.
You know, I did an article, a feature story when I was in the Air Force, and there was a master sergeant in the Air Force, and he was an Indian guy. And I went up to him. He was an Indian American. I said, "What do you want me to call you? Do you want me to call you, in the story that I write, do you want me to call you an Indian, a Native American?" He looks at me and he goes, "Lieutenant, I'm an Indian." He goes, "I'm an Indian American." He goes, all these different name changes. He thought it was silly. He thought it was absurd. I mean, we're all Native Americans. I was born here. You were born here.
Well, think about the Fighting Irish. They got like a leprechaun doing this. So what do you want the Irish to reinforce the fact you're drunk and you like to fight? I mean, everything has a little connotation to it. Lighten up.
And that's the point. You know, if you look at the 70s, I believe that race relations went a long way in the 1970s. And it did so because we weren't so thin-skinned. All in the Family, Archie Bunker, Don Rickles, the insult comic. You know, they did these jokes about racism. I mean, about the races, but it was really to belittle racism. Don Rickles used to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. On the African American side, they were the first ones to really bring it out. They could do it in their act still. White comics really can't. I got to be careful.
Yeah, Chris Rock. Yeah.
They have a lot more leadway to what they can say than we can say. But the only way to bring it out is to talk about it. But you got to put it to bed at some point. I mean, the racism was a bitter pill to swallow. But every time we get past it mentally, Obama's there to shove it back down your throat.
Yeah, and you know, I like to define things. And if you think about racism, let's define it. In my opinion, racism is the belief that some people are inherently superior to other people based on skin color alone. And I think that's an evil belief. If you go to college, though, they'll tell you something else. The professors will teach you in college that racism is prejudice plus power. Therefore, minorities cannot be racist. It's absurd. But racism is it's a serious issue, obviously. I don't think it's one that holds people back in America today. And we're not going to get anywhere if everybody's so thin-skinned, Ron.
Well, it's become a tool of the left to silence debate.
Absolutely.
Once they call you a racist or whatever, then the debate's over, and all civil discourse is gone. So it's used by the left to control their opponents. It's used by Obama. If you opposed Obamacare, healthcare system that he imposed upon us, you're a racist, right? You can't conflate the two into each other, and it ends the debate and he hits his way, because once he calls you a racist, he's won.
You know, lately these guys can't go anywhere. When I say these guys, I'm talking about Eric Holder and Barack Obama. Everywhere they go, they talk about how hard it is to be black in America. The Attorney General and the President of the United States, everywhere they go, it's so hard to be black in America. And they are stirring up something that is causing resentment among Americans. And I'm telling you, a lot of black Americans themselves are fed up with it.
I don't blame them. I mean, Alan West and others, I don't want to be a victim. I'm no longer your victim. I'm strong. I don't need to be your victim. I'm not going to be on the plantation that you're creating. The difference between slavery, think about slavery, they had a place to live, they had work, they had a home, and they had food and health care. What does the government want to give you? They want to give you that, and for that they want your vote. So basically the modern day entitlement-minded person is really just a ward of the state, no different than a slave.
I had a guy on my show, on the radio show recently, Jason Riley. He's a black American. He's been on the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal since the early 1990s. And he wrote a book called Please Stop Helping Us. How liberal policies actually hurt the very people they're designed to help. Everything from affirmative action to gun control to abortion. All of these things, Ron, were initially designed to hurt black Americans. And ironically, now black Americans in large numbers are voting for the party that brings those very policies.
And the unintended consequences of any government action, including the Redskins, for example, now the Redskins merchandise is selling like crazy because it's edgy. It may be taken away, supply and demand. People want to have the Redskin thing again. The Don Sterling, the owner of the LA Clippers, the racist comments he made, his team was valued at $800 million. $800 million, and then as soon as this thing broke it loose, he got $2 billion for it. So you end up rewarding usually with the publicity and the situation exactly what you didn't want to do to begin with, and that's what happens.
And doesn't this bring up private property issues? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, does the government really have the legitimate authority to shut you down because some people are offended by what you say?
Yeah, they think they do. They think they have the rights to come to you and say to you, listen, you said something offensive, we think you're an enemy of the state, therefore we're going to take your property rights. Anyone should be scared of that. This is one thing this country needs. Any strong country has property rights, has elective government, and has capitalism. Those are the three factors that make a country strong. Without those, this is the first time in my life, Bernie, that I've really feared that this government will take political prisoners.
Well, it's government by fiat, as Charles Krauthammer has called it recently. It is no longer a government limited by the rule of law. As a matter of fact, I like to say in one sentence, the problem in America today is that the rule of law has been supplanted by the law of rulers, and we've got to change that. I want to talk about Speaker Boehner when we get back, and him telling Barack Obama, we're going to sue you if you don't start executing the law and stop breaking the law. Also, I want to talk about Iraq and more with Ron Hart in just a moment.
The Bernie Thompson Show Whiskey Rebellion is brought to you by the Shrimp Boat Restaurant in St. Andrews Bay. Steak, seafood, and sunsets right on the water. Updates on Facebook at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Forest Park Animal Hospital. He's more than just a vet for your pet. He's your dog's best friend. Dr. Stephen Favallaro on Facebook at Forest Park Animal Hospital, PA. Waterstone Apartments. Each home includes a full-size washer and dryer, spacious walk-in closets, and high-end appliances. Waterstone Apartments on North Jenks in Panama City. Elevation Salon at the Panama City Mall, where my friend Samantha will make you look and feel your best. These ladies are not just out of beauty school, they're the best.
Hi, I'm Darrell Day.
And I'm Bernie Thompson.
You know, we both proudly served our nation in uniform.
And we still serve today on the radio, expanding freedom and protecting the family budget.
And using the airwaves to educate, enlighten, and entertain, and sometimes irritate.
So join us every day and link arms, and let's do our part to restore this republic.
Join me each morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m.
And join me from 11 to 2 on Talk Radio 101.
Find out what's shaking at Lowe's House of Bourbon at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Lowe's House of Bourbon, located above the Shrimp Boat Restaurant in historic St. Andrews. Protection, inviting, clarity, comforting. It's your portal to an outside world, and it's probably something you have not given much thought to. Glass is a part of our lives. It's all around us, all the time. The Glass Center has presented the finest in glass installation in Bay County since 1983. From your business to your community to your automobile to your home, the Glass Center is the leader in technology and innovation for all things glass in your life. Gerard Verga fights for justice every day. As a family man who grew up in our community, Mr. Verga wants to bring those values back to our justice system. Vote Verga on August 26th. Political ad paid for and approved by Gerard Verga for judge.
Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm Katie.
Is your check engine light on?
At Gears, we will check it for free.
Don't pay for a diagnostics.
At Gears, we will check it for free.
Transmission services for $49.95.
Free shuttle service in our Gears limo.
Come let my daddy fix your car.
So Speaker John Boehner has now told Barack Obama that if you don't execute the law and if you keep breaking the law, we're going to sue you. Sue you? What about impeaching him? That's what the House's duty is in the Constitution. It says that if an executive officer or any civil officers commit high crimes or misdemeanors, they shall be impeached, and it starts in the House. Ron, what do you make of Speaker Boehner threatening to sue Barack Obama? And his reaction, incidentally, was he blew him off. He said, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. He's not afraid of them at all.
I'm glad Boehner's finally doing something. He's been emboldened a little bit. He's got some pressure on him for his speakership House. He saw what happened to Eric Cantor in Virginia. He feels compelled to do this right now. You know, Obama's favorability rate is 37 to 40%. Very low. The only thing he is above is the law, it seems. He doesn't seem to care. He's a lame duck president. He's arrogant. He's emboldened by the fact that he thinks he's so great. No one is there to tell him differently.
And he's smart too, Ron, because he knows that the Congress has about an 8% approval rating. Right. So he can always just scapegoat them.
Right. He's also, he's smart not with the issues, but he's smart on tactical
strategy.
He's a political, person. Yeah. Totally. And he knows as African American, he can get away with a lot more than others cannot. He can push the envelope. He probably always has, and pointed to, and he blames the other people. The Republicans end up looking bad when he does something against the Constitution. When the Republicans say something, they're the ones that end up looking bad for some reason. It's a weird dynamic.
You know, Senator Ted Cruz says that if Eric Holder does not appoint a special prosecutor to investigate the IRS, Lois Lerner, and that commissioner, that he ought to be impeached, that Eric Holder ought to be impeached. He already should have been, by the way. But what are your thoughts on the IRS being used to attack conservatives and Tea Party types?
Well, they know the IRS is the fear of GOP because GOP Republicans earn money, they pay taxes, right? So what do you put on them that scares them the most? It's the IRS. Yeah. It's like putting a registered letter in a Democrat's mailbox or putting a EBT card drug test on them. You know, so they know they're scared of the IRS. There's 9,000 IRS agents. He's basically deputized them now to go after his opponents. That should scare everyone. Even more so with Obamacare. You got 10,000 more agents with Obamacare. So instead of an enemies list, he's also got an enemies list right now. So.
What are your quick thoughts on Iraq? What's going on in Iraq?
I was against the Iraq War from the beginning. I think we've been both our enemies. I mean, we're questioning now who's going to rule the rubble. I mean, who wants to rule this thing? The Shiites, I mean, he can't get his Shiites together over there, it seems like. The Shiites hate the Sunnis. They hate each other. The only thing that we've done is galvanize them against us. They hate each other. They blow each other up if we're not there. Our presence causes them to coalesce around hating us.
Absolutely.
So if they galvanize on one thing, it'll be against us. We need to get out and let it happen. They're not going to cross the ocean. You saw this prisoner exchange with this guy over in in Bergdahl,
Yep.
over there.
Yep.
They show up in a 1989 Toyota truck with flames on the side. This is what we're scared of.
Right.
Look, until they get an army, you know what? And they're going to have an army because they're going to use our equipment at some point. If we weren't there, they wouldn't have our armored vehicles, they wouldn't have our trucks, they wouldn't have our rocket launchers.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have given material support to our enemy in this whole situation more than any other time that I can think of.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Ron, thanks for being with us. When we get back, we've got a brand new feature for you. It is our Fireside Chat Challenge from Lowe's House of Bourbon. A viewer has sent in a video challenge for me, and I can't wait to answer it. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Burnie Thompson Show Whiskey Rebellion is brought to you by the Shrimp Boat Restaurant in St. Andrews Bay. Steak, seafood, and sunsets right on the water. Updates on Facebook at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Forest Park Animal Hospital. He's more than just a vet for your pet, he's your dog's best friend. Dr. Stephen Favallaro on Facebook at Forest Park Animal Hospital, PA. Waterstone Apartments. Each home includes a full-size washer and dryer, spacious walk-in closets, and high-end appliances. Waterstone Apartments on North Jenks in Panama City. Elevation Salon at the Panama City Mall, where my friend Samantha will make you look and feel your best. These ladies are not just out of beauty school, they're the best.
Gerard Verga fights for justice every day. As a family man who grew up in our community, Mr. Verga wants to bring those values back to our justice system. Vote Verga on August 26th. Political ad paid for and approved by Gerard Verga for judge.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay. So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Protection, inviting, clarity, comforting. It's your portal to an outside world, and it's probably something you have not given much thought to. Glass is a part of our lives. It's all around us, all the time. The Glass Center has presented the finest in glass installation in Bay County since 1983. From your business to your community, to your automobile, to your home. The Glass Center is the leader in technology and innovation for all things glass in your life. Find out what's shaking at Lowe's House of Bourbon at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Lowe's House of Bourbon, located above the Shrimp Boat Restaurant in historic St. Andrews.
Hey, Burnie, you keep bashing Republicans, on your show over and over and over. It's almost like you want the Democrats to win. When all you do is criticize Republicans all day long, I mean, you're going to have to live with yourself if Nancy Pelosi becomes Speaker of the House again. Or heaven forbid, what if Charlie Crist becomes governor again? I mean, this is just sick. I mean, do you really think that we're going to be better off with Democrats in office than Republicans? It's going to go one way or the other. Now, why don't you just do this? Stop focusing on the few disagreements that you have with the Republicans if you really think the Democrats are worse. Anyway, thanks a lot. I appreciate what you're doing, and give the Democrats the boot. That's what I say. Thanks.
I understand what you're saying, Chuck. I really do. We need a strong Republican Party to stand against this Democrat destruction. But we don't have that right now. Instead, what we have is a president and an attorney general who are brazenly and openly breaking the laws, and Republicans in the Congress just sitting compliantly by, watching it happen. What's worse than a Democrat, in my view, is a tepid crony Republican. And that's what we have right now. And I think it's up to Republicans to act like Republicans. It's up to Republicans to champion free markets and to check a president who's out of control. I guess what I'm saying is, isn't it time that the Republican Party stop being the lesser of two evils and start being the good choice? Submit your video fireside chat challenge to us at Burnie@BurnieThompson.com. And when you get a chance, pop in to Lowe's House of Bourbon just above the Shrimp Boat Restaurant and try their Four Roses private label whiskey bourbon. It is the only place you're going to find it, right here at Lowe's House of Bourbon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. The Burnie Thompson Show Whiskey Rebellion is brought to you by the Shrimp Boat Restaurant in St. Andrews Bay. Steak, seafood, and sunsets right on the water. Updates on Facebook at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Forest Park Animal Hospital. He's more than just a vet for your pet. He's your dog's best friend. Dr. Stephen Favallaro on Facebook at Forest Park Animal Hospital, PA. Waterstone Apartments. Each home includes a full-size washer and dryer, spacious walk-in closets, and high-end appliances. Waterstone Apartments on North Jenks in Panama City. Elevation Salon at the Panama City Mall, where my friend Samantha will make you look and feel your best. These ladies are not just out of beauty school, they're the best.